Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Cowboys going up against the Falcons. So with that, we'll send you out to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, home of the Dirty Birds, where we bring in the two men who will call the action, and that's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Larry, in what is scheduled to be its final season as an NFL stadium, there's a look at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
Second down following the run. On second down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind, partner, that he's one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best. And the argument's going to be short. It's a small sample. Julio Jones right there at the top because of his ability to do everything. Catch it, run it, his strength running patterns. How about the way he knocks people off of routes and continues them and finishes in the end zone?
He did all of that against Green Bay. A beautiful toe tap in the end zone for one touchdown. And then stiff-arming tacklers down the sideline at 73 yards to the house. He was something.
And it's interesting you mentioned the toe tap. That people thought maybe his effectiveness would be limited because of a toe injury. We saw no ill effects against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. They continue to stay excited about his potential.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. With the way Matt Ryan was throwing it against the Packers, they didn't really need Devontae Freeman's legs on the ground. 14 carries, 42 yards, 42 through the air as well, receiving though.
And that's the key, the 42 through the air, because it tells you that Devontae Freeman is a multi-dimensional back. And that's exactly what Atlanta needs in their offense. They can spread the field, run it inside with him and Tevin Coleman, or throw it to them as well.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
The play clock's running down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Let's go!
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line. And they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
And defensively, here are the starters for the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a group that has a lot of youth. 7 of the starters, either first or second-year guys, and boom, they're going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
And they fit perfectly with head coach Dan Quinn's scheme on defense and his collaboration with the front office of the Falcons to get younger and quicker on that side of the ball has propelled them to the Super Bowl. Think about Vic Beasley leading the league in sacks at outside linebacker, Keanu Neal as a safety, and Deion Jones can flat out run in the middle.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Prescott down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So the D-line's going to spread out. A first down carry by Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And now for Elliott, Charles, against Green Bay, 125 yards on the ground. Became the first Cowboy rookie to rush for over 100 in a playoff game since Dwayne Thomas way back in 1970.
Another significant record added to what Ezekiel Elliott did in 2016. And just look at it this way. Everyone who watches NFL football pays lip service to the idea that the running game is important. I think Ezekiel Elliott really brought it back into focus in this season.
And he finished just 178 yards shy of Eric Dickerson's rookie record. 3 yards left to grab here on third down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
He completes it to Bryant, and he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And, Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll be a Dallas first down.
He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and when I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think, and has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield, something that we didn't know he truly possessed. We saw that in the offseason workouts. Now he's putting his running ability to good use in the NFL.
On second down, Elliott, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. So with that, we come upon the 2-minute warning here on the NFL on EA Sports. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Second down, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll try again with Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott as the first half is winding down, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Matt Ryan was incredible against Green Bay, wasn't he? He's about locked in, throwing the football. Just absolutely incredible. 4 touchdown passes and ran one in. And that put him into some pretty good company there with some other guys who've done the NFL playoffs.
Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and then there's another one who's done it. Who's that?
Tobin Rote, 1957 Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so those guys, the only 4 with 4 touchdown passes and a touchdown run in the playoffs.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And his throw is incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A second down throw for Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. We're still in search of the first down after that last completion. It's a keeper with Prescott. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. We're able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Complete to Bryant. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. On third down, it's Prescott. He's got time in the pocket. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back
under pressure. They got him again. Tyson Jackson in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Play clock winding down. Freeman again. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
The tight end changing his position. Time running out here on the play clock. On third down, Devontae Freeman. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. 4th down. Here's Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up second and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, Freeman. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it's complete. Hooper. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. 3rd and goal. Can the offense punch it in here from the 1? And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it. Freeman. Freeman unable to get free here on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. And now here come the Cowboys. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, there's no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now Elliott, and he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Time for a break. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott got a man. It's complete. Williams. It'll be a gain of 9. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed going away from you.
It all happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
It really does. The timing is so important. That ball's got to be out of the hands of the quarterback and to the receiver like that. And if it is, you often get a very successful play.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Come on, let's go. Try at 38.
Here's Elliott. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Newton's Panthers. With that, let's get up to Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Here's Newton now on second down. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
Funchess with a catch over the middle. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. It came underneath on the drag, completed it very well. Look, I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. 3rd straight year over 1,000 yards in receptions. And guess what? That's the first time that's ever happened in NFL history. 3 straight years by a tight end.
That's really something. Now 31 years of age. They're going to need him next year to turn it around because a very disappointing season.
Not the season anyone expected, least of all the Carolina Panthers, but he's a building block that they can go ahead and get back to form starting in 2017.
On first down, it's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool him with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. And it's 3rd down. Okay, Charles, defensive starter time for the Atlanta Falcons.
And let's spotlight Keanu Neal, the safety out of Florida. So big, so athletic. Many thought they might make him an outside linebacker, but I think they're going to use him as a hybrid. Outside linebacker, strong safety, kind of in the Cam Chancellor mode in Seattle.
This will be caught at about the 5. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Here we go on 4th. Newton. Ron Rivera, the gambling tight, but he comes up empty here. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. And tough starting field position here. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Now a play fake here on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
It's his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Charles Johnson off the edge. A long day for any offensive tackle.
Second down following the incompletion. Second and 10 now. Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. On third down, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
First and 10, it's Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. And the D looking like they may blitz. Ryan on the handoff. handoff. It's Freeman. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series, 3rd and 13. It's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And now it's 4th down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They will go for it. Now Newton. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the gears will shift here as Atlanta will take over on offense. And speaking of gear shifting, a new change in Atlanta. They're going into a new stadium next year. But what a way to say goodbye to the Georgia Dome, huh?
They closed out in the style that they wanted to. And the way that they played throughout the 2016 season. And I go back to when they opened it up in preseason. The first game ever in the Georgia Dome. They threw a bomb on their first series for a touchdown. And it felt the exact same way against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
It opened in 92, and you're right. It finishes in dramatic fashion. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now Ryan. Finding time. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more from Charlotte after this. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Yards to go here on 2nd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Newton now to throw. Caught left side by Funchess. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. To throw is Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, 49 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Kelvin Benjamin bounced back from an ACL injury in 2015 to really good health in 2016 and had a 100-plus yard game early in the season, so it looked like he was all the way back. But Brandon, the rest of the year, never broke 100 yards again.
That is hard to believe. He had a stretch late in the season. He went 18 yards, 11 yards, 20 yards. That's just not what you expect from him and the Panthers.
Not at all. I don't think it's all his fault, but they're going to be looking for another breakout season from him next year.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Check.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Looking sideline, incomplete. Newton on 3rd down. A dump off here to Stewart. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Newton throwing again. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, Newton looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Paul Warlow. And his guys have got it back at the close And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. After the interception, here's Ryan. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They run. Devontae Freeman. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now it's 2nd and 7.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. That's it.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, that's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is a wide receiver in the tight end's body. He runs his routes with such great precision and some physical toughness, and he really fights and competes for the ball.
And then, of course, it helps to have Cam Newton throwing it to you. And Newton's going to keep it. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Newton takes it himself.
I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak, no place to go. Well, they gave it a shot. Quarterback sneak. Not able to get it.
No, but if you're going to call a QB sneak on third down, you draw it up to get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Maybe they were thinking 4-down territory.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They snap it to Newton. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. And Dixon there to make the grab. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd and 10. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's got Sanu. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Second down following the run. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. They go play action here on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, 30 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
His throw incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Back to the air. Newton on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. From the gun on third down, Newton gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Newton on first down. Caught on the left side by Ginn. It's a gain of 20 that time. And it'll be a Carolina first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now Newton on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyson Jackson in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain, and it's second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
To throw on second down is Newton. Wide open receiver complete. Ted Ginn's gonna go. Touchdown, Carolina. Ted Ginn, 74 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the fourth. is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They toss to Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They come out here in the eye. Coming left, it's Freeman. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. So the D-line's going to spread out. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their hit.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. They come out here in the eye. This is Stewart again. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Check. 20.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. Newton to throw. Looking deep downfield. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final.